I've been waiting for my upgrade for almost 2 weeks. Homan, has PE shown up yet?
No, not yet. What did you order anyways?
Why, wheels, of course.
Imagine for a moment that you are sitting watching the opera, or perhaps a play, but in this case, it's an opera, at the theater, on a stage, and the performers are gliding across the stage. As they sing, as they perform, they lift one leg, a tap on the ground, and whoosh, off they go to the other side. You are mesmerized. They twirl, they spin, they don't stop going and going and going. It's like they are floating on air, or in this case, gliding on ice across the stage. Some would dare say it's witchcraft, but you know better. You are sophisticated. You go to the theater, and there you have seen the magic of make-believe come to life. Yes, Maybeer has sure outdone themselves with this one. What was it called again? Ah, yes, you say to yourself, the Opera Le Prophète. Yes, what a show for the ages. 1849 has definitely been one heck of a year. Welcome to the Chronicles of Geek. Sit back and join Ish and myself, Damon Roth, the geek from the north, this week while we escape on roller skates. And don't forget to like and subscribe below. Before hoverboards, before indoor ice rinks, way before anyone had ever stood on top of Everest, well before Tolkien set Frodo off on a little outing, and about a decade before the Iron Horse made the first trip across the continent, somebody, details on that on a bit, but somebody decided that they wanted to feel the wind through their hair, to feel it hitting their face, but to do it in a way that was totally of their own volition, their own control. No gears, and I don't mean safety gear, I mean like bicycle gears. No animals, just them. Their own muscle power. The freedom to fly has been one of the longest lasting dreams. Remember those? Of the human experience. Humans don't like the fact that we are stuck on the ground. It's true. We have since the dawn of time tried to find ways to go faster, go farther, go higher. Some would say that perhaps we just want to escape. In recent times, what once was a popular pastime, before it was a popular pastime, has once again become a popular pastime. And this particular pastime is one that myself, the geek from the north, found, lost, found again, and almost lost, but hung on to. And if you've been paying any attention to this show, you know that my spouse and I are avid fans of this particular escape. Roller skating. Yes, we, my spouse and I, are part of a group of folks that love to strap 8 wheels to their feet in pairs of 2 side by side, quads they are called, and we either go really, really fast or dance like it's Saturday night and nobody's watching. Roller skating, which saw its second meteoric rise in the 50s and 60s, hitting the peak with disco in the 70s, has come back around in 2021. You see, in 2021, with the pandemic in its second year, roller skating has seen its third meteoric rise in popularity. So much so that even ordering a pair of roller skates, especially custom ones, can mean weeks or months of delays. Now, although much of mainstream media would tell you that roller skating all but disappeared except for some hardcore old schoolers out on the West Coast and derby players, and it only reappeared in the pandemic, well, in reality, it never went away at all. Pages like Together We Skate on Facebook can fill you in with all the historic details, but a quick and short form of history shows that during the 80s, 90s, 2000s, up until recently, roller skating was kept alive in the inner cities and industrial parks of America. Only what appears to be the systematic racist lens of media of the day, up until recently, kept it from the spotlight. It was literally oppressed into the dust of histories by those who did not understand the culture and the people that had embraced it. So credit definitely must be given to the communities and the individuals that kept this escape alive and rolling. Thank you.
Randall Quizomatic for today. Question number 1. And by the way, humans, I am supposed to be more personable and say, hello, how are you doing? There, I said it. Question number 1, and we're starting with a hard one, humans. Who wrote the opera that first had roller skates in it? Fine, I'll give the 3 choices, human. A. Mary Bear, B. Shakespeare, or C. Andrew Lloyd Webber. Oh, I like that guy. He makes good plays. Randall Quizomatic question 2. And now an easy one. The human may be doing. A pair of roller skates has how many wheels in total? A pair of roller skates has how many wheels in total?
Welcome to the Geek Flashback News, where we are all the way back in 1863, and James Plimpton from Massachusetts has decided that walking or running to work just wasn't going to cut it anymore. With that notion, they strapped some wheels onto the bottom of a pair of boots, in a manner of speaking anyways, and gave birth to the modern version of the roller skate that we love and know still to this day. Yes, the 8 wheels, 4 on each foot contraption, has actually been around longer than sliced bread, Betty White, or the completed Transcontinental Railroad, which of course was completed in 1869. Early roller rinks became popular with the masses all the way back in the 1870s. Yes, you heard that correctly, the huge popularity of roller skating, dubbed Rinkomania, spread to Europe and around the world, finally peaking with the onset of the Great Depression, when many of the rinks of the first heyday closed and turned to dust. Roller skating, however, will stand the test of time. The second glory period of roller skates would happen 30 years or so later with the onset of disco, while the third rise of roller skating would happen as folks moved outdoors to try and find activities to endure a pandemic. This has been your Geek Flashback News. Today's Geek Flashback News has been brought to you by Ripped Apparel. Use the promo code GNN10 for all your finer geek apparel needs. And don't forget to subscribe below to keep up on all your fan-fueled content.
Randall Quizomatic question 3 for 50,000 points. I have no idea what questions 1 or 2 were worth. I forgot to write that down. Irrelevant. In what year were the modern roller skates, is invented the right word? I mean, this individual perfected these devices, but yes, let's go with that. In what year was the modern roller skate design perfected?
Okay, we have been working on this little Star Wars theory of mine for a couple of weeks now, and now that we are approaching the end of May the 4th be with you, it's time to wrap this one up. So okay, let's recap. We know that in the Star Wars universe, the Force is real. There are good and bad people, and that good and bad things happen. We have also established that there are folks in the Star Wars universe that can navigate hyperspace using the Force. For examples of this include the Navigators Guild, the Pathfinders, that Captive of the Nil that we talked about from the Light of the Jedi, and last and definitely not least on our list, the Chiss and their Skywalker. And this is where we jump into the round of theory through extrapolation. Remember, there's two types of people in the world. Those that can extrapolate. Now, we know that for a fact that spaceships in the Star Wars universe disappear and crash all the time. And in some cases, they have kids on board. We can refer to the novel Light of the Jedi, or we can even refer, going back to some canon that just been come back in, to the Ewok adventure movies from the 80s for this correlation.
You ever going to get to the point? I'm waiting on the edge of my seat here.
Yes, we're getting there. One last thing we need to consider, though. The Chiss, although they claim to be a non-aggressive species, are anything but. Cross the Chiss and they will devastate everything you love and, just in case, hate to make sure their point is made. Now, we can assume that throughout the history of the Chiss, which spans thousands of years, a way more stable government than anything the Sith or the Republics have ever come up with, what spans a long time, we can assume that in that time period, the Chiss have encountered non-Chiss Skywalkers. Actually, we know they have for a fact. Remember the Navigators that they hire. So, the only assumption we need to make then is that somewhere in some point in time it is plausible for them to have encountered a crashed ship, perhaps a child that was adopted into one of the Chiss households, again something that is referenced in the Chiss novels, or the Thrawn novels. And again, we know that the Chiss are generally at war with somebody, so somewhere in their history, it's very conceivable that one of their warships with a Skywalker on it was captured or crashed. This is actually referenced in the Thrawn novels again, as the Skywalker children, the Chiss Navigators, live with this fear. So let's say that somewhere in time this happened, that a human was absorbed into a Chiss house. And then a few generations later, an offspring of this human, now a Chiss Skywalker, a young female, is lost to space. Either captured in battle or crashed, but she is found and promptly made a slave. Yes, I am saying, are you ready? That it is very plausible that Shmi Skywalker, whose own official canon states that she was born on an unknown world and that her and her parents, air quotes, were captured by pirates and forced into slavery when she was just a young girl. I mean, it makes sense. She was a young kid. She's been captured. They ask, "What's your name?" And that's what she replies, because that's her culture. Fast forward a few years, and here we are. The Force works in mysterious ways, and we know that it is conceivable that Shmi Skywalker, before she became a captive or a slave, was a Chiss Skywalker. Of course, she gives birth to Anakin, who in one way or another did bring balance to the Force.
Randall Quizomatic question 4 for 10 points. Who was Shmi Skywalker? In short form, why was she important to the Star Wars universe? That's a very odd question, human.
This week, for the Geeks Like Us segment, I found a whole whack of geeks that love to roll. It's surprising on just how many folks there are that like to strap wheels on their feet and be free. It has become one of the world's favorite pastimes again, and there are no signs of it slowing down. So enough of the intro, let's just roll right into it. All right, folks, welcome back to Geeks Like Us. We are doing our roller skating episode this week, and I have a nice big panel here to talk about. So I'm going to jump right in, and I'm going to start with the first panel member. I'm going left to right on my screen. So I am going to throw things over to Andy. If you just give us a quick introduction to who you are and what you do.
There. Hi, I'm Andy. I work for Canadian Mental Health. I'm a counselor there. And yeah, that's what I do. And I skate a lot.
Hi, my name's Mike. I have a day job as a postman. I walk for a living, and my alter ego is a part owner at Roller Skate Victoria, where we do online classes and events and teach people the joy of roller skating.
Hi everyone. My name is Andrea. For my day job, I work in post-secondary education for a university in fundraising, scholarships and bursaries. And I also, for my side hustle, I'm co-owner of Roller Skate Victoria.
Hi. Yeah, I mean, as Damon mentioned, he and I met in 2017 when I joined fresh meat of a roller derby sort of crash course. I was terrible, but I ended up falling in love with the idea of skating. So in my real life, I am a program manager for adults with diverse abilities. So I've been supporting people at Lifetime Networks for over 10 years.
Hi, everybody. I'm Adrienne, also known as Velocity Raptor. My day job is running a nonprofit in Washington, D.C., USA. We do civic engagement and language services, so interpretation, translation, things like that. And my side hustle is I run Department of Skate, which has gotten us mixed up with the U.S. State Department on not more than one occasion. We used to get our mail delivered over there, and we'd have to go pick it up from their irradiated mailroom. So your knee pads are very, very clean.
Why do you find it fun? Why do you do this in this crazy world right now?
Well, at the moment, I'm not doing any skating because I'm about halfway through this pregnancy. So no more skating for me at this point. But for me, it's exercise. It's a team. I played roller derby for a long time. That's what got me started again as an adult. It's an escape. It's a community. That's probably my favorite part is the people that are in it. There's people that I've met from all over the world, like all of you. I think most of you are actually in a different country from me.
Absolutely. I think a few of us definitely can have some stories about how we've met some folks from other countries, other places. Nicole, you were telling me one of your favorite memories of skating when we started doing some long distance skating.
And seized, we'd put new bearings in, and lo and behold, it felt like flying again. And that was an amazing experience. That ability to I'm not a fast runner. Most people would define me as a sloth in like every other parts of my life. But that ability to move with grace and to just fly, feel the wind in your hair again. That's what I live for. I love that moment when that happens, heading bombing down a hill and suddenly you just feel like you're unstoppable. It's an amazing experience.
Absolutely. Andy, your thoughts on that? What do you find fun about roller skating? Like, why do you do it?
Well, I do a lot of trail skating. So I do anywhere from 50 to 150 kilometers a week. And so when I put my headphones on, it's about the being on 8 wheels and having the music. So I listen to a lot of later 70s, early 80s musics on my headset. And it brings me right back to my childhood at the roller rink. So all those memories of being at Stardust come back with the music and the wheels. And I got a top speed so far of 54K an hour. So
Nice.
I like speed too.
Definitely somebody after my own heart on wheels. I'm also a little bit of a speed maniac when it comes to skating, as Nicole contests, as I have to slow down just a little bit sometimes. Let's get Mike's thought about dancing on roller skates.
I love the sensation and the feeling of gliding through space and time on roller skates. The analogy of flying is fantastic. It really feels a lot like that. And I've never been a very good dancer before, so being able to do that on roller skates has really opened up a whole new world for me.
Anything else you want to add about roller skating? Nicole, I'm going to jump down to you, and then I'll make my way around, but don't worry, I'll tell you who's going to come up next. So Nicole, you're out first.
So anything I want to tell people about roller skating?
Yeah.
If you've ever been curious about it, try it. It really isn't that hard to pick up. You have to be confident with yourself, or at least willing to give yourself the benefit of the doubt that you'll learn it eventually. Wear a lot of protective gear when you get started. You're going to fall. It's going to happen. But if you choose to cheek or choose to fall forward, if you've got your protective gear on, then you're going to be okay. And if it's ever intrigued you, just pick it up. It's so much fun.
Nice. Mike, your thoughts?
I really enjoy like I think I mentioned before, the sensation of gliding through time and space on roller skates. There's no other experience like it. It's a calming, relaxing feeling. It's almost like being rocked like a baby in a cradle. It's just a lovely, lovely experience, and I highly recommend it for anybody who wants to try it.
Adrian.
I would say get out there and do it, and connect with as many people as you can. There are a ton of experts in all of these groups and in all of these cities, and every single one of them is really excited to have all of these new people joining. So don't give up. Come find us. We love teaching. We will talk your ear off about literally everything and just give you a waterfall torrent of more information than you could ever want. And that's how you learn and have a great time. Can't wait to see you out there.
Exactly. Andy, what about you?
In my opinion, with COVID going on right now, mental health is so important. And for me, my mental health, getting out on the trails, getting some tunes going in my head, feeling that air, not so much through my head hair, my face hair, and just being free out there and enjoying it is so good for my mental health. So
Nice. Exactly. I totally agree. The mental health aspect of all of this is definitely one of the main reasons why we all escape. Andrea, last closing thoughts to you.
Yeah, thanks. I was actually really glad to see that, you have a show about geek things, and you wanted to talk about roller skating. And I was like, that makes sense to me. Because we get so hooked on roller skating, and like there's certain people that I meet that try skating and they're just like, it's okay. But then there's other people that try it and get hooked and it becomes an obsession, right? And those are the people I bestow the title upon as skate nerd. And it's a term of endearment to me. So when you mentioned this show, I was like, yeah, that totally makes sense to me. Like we're nerdy about it. We nerd out on it. Like we want to talk about the physics of skating. We want to talk about the equipment. We want to start collecting all kinds of skates and parts, like you would collect, I don't know, comic books. I don't know much about geek stuff, but I am a skating geek. And the other thing I wanted to say, just to jump on what Mike had said about skating feeling like a form of flying, and it's a sensation of the movement. The geeks will enjoy this. There's a YouTube video that I saw about this skater who's an inline skater in San Diego. He goes by Slow Mo. He was a medical doctor, and he left everything for a life of living at the beach and roller skating up and down the path. And he describes the sensation of roller skating in a very scientific way and explains why we love it so much. And I really encourage everyone to check that out. When I first saw that, I was like, yes, he just explained in words what I have been feeling my whole life. So
nice. Awesome.
This is me nerding out. I'm nerding out. We're skate geeks. We're skate nerds.
Exactly. Again, everybody, thank you so much for joining us here on the Chronicles of Geeks. Geeks like us, as you heard, we're all geeks. And so that's it. And we will be back next week with an entirely different segment for something that we don't know yet.
Random Quizomatic question 5. A completely random question about randomness. What year were the first modern Olympics held? I ask because roller skates are coming back to the Olympics. So what year was the first modern Olympics held? Random Quizomatic results. Okay, humans, that again is the 5 questions for today. So let us peruse the answer book to see what the answers are. And yes, this week I have the answer book perfect. What's the human? Huh?
This week's Random Quizomatic is brought to you by MetallicDiceGames.com. If you need dice or other gaming devices, use the code GNN and bound on over to our favorite little gaming site on the net for 10% off all your gaming needs.
All right. Okay, then. Question number 1. Who wrote the opera? Meyerbeer. That's Meyerbeer. That's Meyerbeer. Question 2. Number of wheels on a pair of roller skates. And that is 8. 4 on each skate. 1864 is the year that the modern roller skate was perfected, we shall say. Question 4. Shimmy Skywalker is important because she is Anakin's mother. And question 5. The first modern Olympics, which of course happened in Athens, were in 1896. That's it for this week, humans. Join us next week and we will have more questions about random things that are absolutely random.
As a few of you know, I love to roller skate. It's where I met my wife. It's where I met some of the most loyal people I have ever known. A couple of them became lifelong best friends. In fact, I was once heard saying that derby saved my soul. I was wrong though, because it wasn't roller derby, it was roller skating. Derby just used roller skates. Like all escapes, roller skating can have a dark side. It can become an obsession. I know. I was there. I got the t-shirts. Literally. And then I saw the dark monster that obsession was, and I remembered, or perhaps discovered for the first time, that if an escape becomes an obsession, then it is no longer an escape. And this is the danger of all escapes. It doesn't matter what they are, we know that. We've talked about it. It's why we must find the balance between obsession and escape itself. And again, it's okay to fall down the rabbit hole every now and then. In fact, I highly recommend it. A day of fishing, a night of gaming, a weekend inside the engine compartment of a car that one day will purr again. A 40-kilometer escape. Yes, been there, done that. About 30 some odd miles. They are all the same. Roller skating, though, is in many ways a different escape than the others. The reason is that you are full control of your destiny. No mechanical gears, no machines, no animals, just you and 16 bearings that you hope don't seize today. It gives you the ability to do things that we are, as humans, are not really supposed to do. Like go really, really, really fast on our own feet and feel the wind hit our face. To pick up one foot and then the other and sail through the air or land and keep going. Roller skating is also equitable. It doesn't care who you are. All are welcome. You don't need a rink, you don't need a building, you don't need an organization, you don't even need a companion. Don't get me wrong, it's very nice to have one. You just need a parking lot or a path. And you look down that path, you look across that flat surface, and then the music starts. Whether in the real world or just in your head, it's irrelevant. The music starts, and then you are flying. Some folks like to roll fast. Some folks like to dance on their feet. Me? Well, I literally love to fly. Until next time, I'm Damon Roth, the Geek from the North, here escaping with you on the Chronicles of Geek. On Geek News Now. Don't forget, subscribe and like below. And as always, my friends, stay safe, stay brave, and most of all, stay geeky.